I've mentioned in quite a few videos now that at this point in my life, I'm really trying to incorporate a deeper sense of trust into my life. Trust in myself, trust in God or the universe or life itself or what source, whatever you want to call it. And trust that what is meant to work out will work out. And as I am taking on this new, very risky is not the right word, but I would say lofty goal of graduate school and putting myself through it, I'm definitely being tested with my ability to trust, as there are many things happening that are outside of my control and or just quite big question marks that don't have answers yet and just big unknowns. So one thing that has happened recently is I got thrown. I received a couple curveballs in my plan, and I'm going to share with you updates of what's sort of going on with my life and how I'm shifting with the winds and trying to go with the flow and exercise trust throughout all of this, and that not just it will work out, but the best thing that was supposed to happen is what will work out. And sometimes that's contrary to our initial ideas of things, which is always a lesson. So what are the curveballs? What happened? Well, it's nothing detrimental. I'm still going to graduate school. I'm still going to Canada. Things are all good with that. But two of the biggest variables that I was dealing with were work there and then also my housing there. I did share in the last video that my intention is to not work while I am in my actual degree because I want to put everything I have into my studies. Now, the caveat to that is if I say sort of am getting into the semester and see my bank account dwindling a little too much towards the place where I don't want it to go, net zero, then I'll get a job. I mean, it's not the end of the world. I'm setting this intent and it's great, but I'm not going to suffer financial stress just for the sake of principle, because it's trading one stress for the other. Yes, it would be nice to study and not have to work completely, and that still is the plan. But again, there's questions and there's unknown, and as if I'm going through the semester and unforeseen expenses come up, I do know what my rent is, and I'm going to share that in just a second, and I do know what my tuition is, and so doing the math, I should have plenty left over to pay for food and living and, you know, a little extra cush. But again, if I need to get a little restaurant job because things are diminishing faster than I like, I will do that. But the plan was, because my lease is up here June 1st, the plan was to go up to Canada in May and work over the summer, hustle at a couple restaurant jobs or whatever jobs I could find, and stash the account to fund this whole not working during my degree. My degree starts September 1st. Well, first curveball number one is I found out that as a student visa, which I will be on, yes, I am able to work up to 24 hours per week, which is enough. However, that isn't eligible until September 1st when my school starts. So my plan of working in Canada over the summer, June, July, August, is now out the window. Can't do that. Don't want to get deported, especially as an American in Canada right now. I think there are some unsavory sentiments towards Americans because of things going on in the trade situation in our government. I'm not going to get political, but I think you all know what I'm talking about. So regardless, though, I don't want to do anything illegal. I don't mess with that. So can't work in Canada over the summer. So what I decided to do, and it actually worked out really beautifully, is I'm going to move to Arizona. So woohoo! I'm going to go somewhere else for a little bit before I go to Canada. So that's a fun adventure. I'm going to move to Arizona because my father and my aunt live there. My aunt has a spare bedroom, and the restaurant I work at here has a location that's very close to where my aunt lives. So I'm going to be able to stay with my aunt, who graciously opened her home to me, and be able to work at my restaurant there, just seamlessly transfer over, no biggie. And it's a busy location, which is great, and just sort of hustle and grind and save as much money as I can. And the bonus is, one, that I can, still, I don't even have to look for a job. It's just a seamless transfer. But the bigger unexpected bonus of all of this is I'm going to get a lot of time to connect with my family. I left home when I was 16 years old, so that was back in 2000. So 25 years ago, I left home. And since then, I've really only gotten to spend like a handful of days here and there, maybe once a few times a year, some years not at all, with my father. And especially now, he's not super old. He's 68 or 69. One of those. And he's in great shape. He takes care of himself. He eats really well, but still life is short, and I never know when I'll get an opportunity to spend an extended period of time with him again, essentially living in the same city for 2 months. I haven't done that since I was a teenager. So it's going to be a really nice opportunity to spend some quality time with him and with my aunt. And again, because I've lived where everyone's on their own adventure and my family's scattered all over the country. So this was just a nice gift from the universe coming up of, okay, well, my plan was thwarted. It would have been really fun to spend the summer in beautiful Canada, but instead I get to connect with my family in a way that I probably don't foresee any time ever in the near future or down the long road of being able to spend 2 months with them. So I'm really grateful for that. And it's just another one of those reminders of, if we hold so tightly to fixed plans, sometimes it's not exactly the right option. And if we release it, and if something goes wrong, rather than the initial reaction of, why me, poor me, this sucks, oh no, everything's wrong, just look for, okay, well, where is this pointing me to? Where is the blessing in this? Where is there another option, B or C or D, E, F, that I didn't see that is actually better? Because even if I had found a job in Canada, I don't know if it would pay comparable to the restaurant job I have. I would have to find somewhere new and train somewhere and not know really the lay of the land there and what's going to be a good place to work at. This is giving me essentially summer work at somewhere I know I'm going to make a lot of money, and I don't have to train or find anything. I can just plug in. So that's a win across the board. And that was a surprise gift from the universe. Curveball number 2 is the housing. I was quite confident I would get graduate housing because I applied way back at the beginning in October when the application portal opened. I was like, oh yeah, I'm on top of it. I'm like right at the beginning, I'll definitely get it. Well, as I think I shared this in one of the videos, the first round of graduate housing that was available, it's a year lease term, May through May. I didn't get that. And at first I was kind of upset. And then I found out it's typically like a 2-year wait list to get that grad housing because there is such a shortage on campus. There's 11,000 grad students and probably like about 3,000 rooms. So not enough at all. But of course the hidden blessing was, had I got that and signed that lease, then I would have been up in Canada paying rent, but not able to work, which financially is not a good idea. So that was a blessing, and we moved on from that. We being me, I don't know why we said we. That was like it's such a gross server habit. Anyone that works at a restaurant, you know this. It comes out of you sometimes, like, oh, how are we all doing today? It's like so cringe, but not gonna lie, it happens sometimes. Me, I moved on from it. There was a second grad housing that was a shorter term, just September through April, and I was like, oh wow, this is perfect. That's exactly when the terms of my, what am I trying to say? My program? Wow, I'm good with words today. That's exactly how long my program is, so I thought it would be perfect, and I applied. But as I'm finding out more and more how sort of destitute the housing situation is, and I wouldn't get an answer on this till end of June. It was really starting to stress me out of not knowing where I'm going to live in a city that has extremely high rent and very low housing options. I didn't want to put it off to wait till the end of June just to find out that I didn't get it, and then scrambling with a month and a half left to find something else. So we moved on from that. Yesterday, I sat and did a meditation, and I'm going to segue here with these like woo-woo stories like I do, but I just finished reading the Discourses by Epictetus. He is a Greek Stoic philosopher. I highly recommend these are thousands of years old, but still very applicable to humanity today. And it really resonated a lot with me. Just finished reading it, and the mantra comes up a lot in it and he's, I think, even quoting Socrates on this, but lead me Zeus, lead me destiny. Now, do I believe in Zeus per se? No, but this is all just vernacular. It's people put names on things for their spiritual experiences. You could say, lead me God, lead me universe, lead me source, lead me light, lead me love. Insert your spiritual belief here. But it's essentially he talks so much to sort of what I was alluding to earlier, is we have so much this idea of what is good and what is bad and what is right and what is wrong for our life. And he speaks a lot to sort of trying to rescind those judgments. And, it's like the other quote, let go and let God. It's similar to that, but specifically with destiny, of trusting that, yes, we have free will, and yes, we can try and we can make all these decisions for ourselves and sometimes try to force things uphill. But if we relax sort of into just calling in that higher power of, okay, which way is the right way? And there may be a way I think is the right way, but it's not always the right way. And you can create a lot of resistance in your life and sort of delay things and not have things get stuck or mucked up because you're trying to push this one way of thing. And it can cause a lot of stress or damage, or just not progressing in the way you want to. And I was thinking about that a lot, and I was stressing about my living situation a bit. And so I sat down and did my little meditation and kept saying that it feels good to say Zeus, even though I don't pray to the god Zeus. It was just, the quote from the book, and it has a nice ring to it. Whatever, it's not the point. I kept saying to myself, lead me Zeus, lead me destiny, the greater scheme of praying for, okay, there's a path for me and I know it, and I might not be able to see it, but if I relax a little bit on my vision of how I think things should go, I was so set on, yes, I need to get graduate housing. That's what's going to make this possible. And that's, it has to be this way. Anyway, I did the meditation and I sort of got this download to check on Airbnb. This was kind of a backup plan, but it wasn't what I really wanted to do. But anyway, I found something that's actually incredible and perfect and amazing and more affordable than the grad housing. And it gives me a place to keep my car, which was this is a hidden blessing with grad housing. I could not have my car there, but having my car to venture out into nature and all the national parks there and the amazing beauty is going to be a really, really nice thing. So getting that download, bloop, I found it very quickly. I messaged them, I booked it, I'm set, my housing is taken care of, and it's in a perfect area. I get to experience another little bubble of the city where I'm going to be. It has public transit, so I can ride the bus to school because the campus parking is a mess, but it's right by public transit that goes directly to school, so that's a win. It's in my budget, it's in a great area, and it just checked all the boxes. And I know who's to say that was divine intervention? You could say it's coincidence, whatever. My belief is, in those little moments, you can see, oh yeah, that worked out. Or you can stop and have gratitude of, man, I could have just fixated and waited and stressed till June, but it wasn't even taking matters into my own hands. It was like something pushed me, said, hey, check out this app. And actually there's something better for you than the graduate housing. This is a better option that's going to tailor your experience much more in alignment with what you need. So that's at least how I see it. And now I feel a massive weight lifted off of my shoulders because I'm not homeless. I know where I'm going to be living for my degree, and that's a big weight off my shoulders. And the other surprise bonus coming off of this is, and this will be exciting for you all, because it's an Airbnb, it is completely furnished with bathroom, bedroom, kitchen, accoutrements. I do not need anything. So that means I'm going to be doing a massive declutter. And yes, I will document this for all of you. It's coming up. I still have another month left in San Diego, so I need these things, but it'll be coming in the near future. They will not be coming with me to Arizona. I'm going to rehome everything as much as possible. I don't want anything ending up in a landfill, and I want to only give the things to Goodwill or Salvation Army that I could not absolutely find a home for. but I've already got a running list of some friends that are wanting to adopt something. So I've got time to consciously do the process and make sure my things don't go to waste, and I am going to be free and light and portable and ready to go on to my new adventure. Okay, so that's the update / little woo-woo food for thought for the day. I hope you're all doing well, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.